Hi, I'm George Whitfield. This is accordion Stradella basses and the sets of 3 and 4 note diatonic chords. What's that? Okay, I have this idea of the sets of diatonic chords. So if you were in C, that's all the chords you would play on the white notes without using any sharps and flats. That's what I mean by diatonic. And if you call the notes in the scale, the tonic, the second, the third, etc., up to the 7th, which is a B, and then you're back to the C, then each of those has a chord associated with it. You can build a triad using the scale that you're in this case C, and you build a triad of thirds. So C becomes a C major, the second becomes a minor, the third is a minor, the fourth is a major, the fifth is a major, the sixth is a minor, the seventh is a diminished, but it's a 3-note diminished without a 7th. And then you're back to the beginning. So you can tell that we can get most of these on the Stradella basses very easily. So that's C with C major, D with D minor, E with E minor, and you notice we've been going up a button at a time, missing a button. So, and then you get the F and the G, which are either side of the C, and they're both major. So actually you can see these 3 majors are together, F, G and C. So that's your 3-chord trick, as they sometimes call it. And then the 3 minors, because we're about to go to A minor, your 3 minors are the next 3 buttons. So there's a very neat thing with Stradella basses that if you put your hand like this, my 4th finger's on a C, so I can get an F, a C and a G. That's my 3-chord trick. And then the minors are here, D, A and E. And those 6 chords are 6 of the 7 diatonic chords, and the diminished gets used less anyway. So that you can do almost all your, diatonic popular music and unpopular music using those 6 chords, and they're all next door to each other. So with the B, and you naturally kind of go for the dim. Hang on, that crunched. And the reason it crunched is the B dim is this. It's not that. And that's because the 4-note chords on Stradella basses, if they're not 4-note chords, if you've got a Weltmeister or some older Italian accordions and various other accordions probably, they might have 4-note chords. Some of them have 4-note 7ths but 3-note dims, but most Stradella bass accordions have the 5th knocked out of the 7th and dim chords to make them 3-note chords. So that makes a B dim this. And what we wanted was that, which is actually a D dim with no 5. A D dim would be this. And you take out the 5 and you've got that. So if you look at the D dim down here, that's the note we want to play with our, that's the chord we want to play with our B when we get that far, like that. And then you're back to the C again. So that's all the 3-note chords. Now the 4-note chords, if you stack another third on top of all of those chords, the C major becomes a major 7th, the D minor becomes a minor 7th, the E minor becomes a minor 7th, the F major becomes a major 7th, the G major becomes a dominant 7th, the A minor becomes an A minor 7th, and the B dim gets its 4th note, but it doesn't get the A flat. It gets the A, because we're being diatonic here, which I call a half dim. So it's a, or some people call it a B minor 7 flat 5, because if you did sharpen the 5th, you'd get B minor 7. But so it's a B half dim, and we can get all those chords as well. And it's interesting because you can think of these chords as the same chord set as we've just played. It is the same chord set as we've just played, but with a different bass note. So we had the C, the D and the E, but now if you put the C at the bottom, that's our C major 7. So if you play what we just played, but if you like out of order with the bass notes, so you play an E minor over a C, you get the major 7th. And it's a bit of a stretch, but if you play the C with your little finger, and you can go C, D, E, and find that E, mine's got a big diamond on it, and then you pull your finger back, that's the major button, that's the minor button. There's your C major 7, and then you get a D minor 7, so you go to D, and you can drop your little finger onto the F, and then it's the same shape for the E minor 7, where you're playing a G major over an E chord, and then the F becomes a major 7, so that's the same trick as the C. The G becomes a dominant 7, and here we do the 4-note chord thing. You could just use the 7th you're given, but that's, oops, here I played the wrong button. I don't know if you can hear, but there's the 5th is missing, and you will hear if I put down the major chord, the G major chord button as well, you'll hear the 5th, which is a D, isn't it, coming in. Oh, I'm out of shot, hang on. Can you see what I'm doing? That's the G, that's the G7. So the G7 is just this. And funnily enough, if you want that note, we did say, didn't we, that this is an E minor over a C, an F major over a D, and so on. It's just a 2 notes up the scale. So the G7 ought to be the B dim over the over the G, but we said, didn't we, that the 3-note dim that is the kind of B dim that we wanted was actually a D dim. So actually if you play a D dim with a G, you get a 4-note 7th, which is great, because actually the D dim is right next door, it's here, and I just find my thumb is just in the right place, so I normally do that. And there you are, full 4-note 7th. Here's the 3-note 7th, and there's the 4-note 7th. Okay, so that was the G. The A is a minor 7th, just like the D and the E, so what you're actually playing is an A bass with a C major, like this. And the B gets a D minor to give you that lovely half dim. So where's my D minor? 1, 2, 3, like this. And then you're back to C major 7. So that's it. That's the full 4-note diatonic chord set with kind of cross fingering, and yeah, that's it. Enjoy that. Ta-da.